Okay, I got a new movie pitch for you, and this is kind of for, I guess, Oliver Stone. It's a Vietnam movie, and it's based on a true story inspired by a friend of mine who I met who was an Army Ranger in Vietnam for 9 months, and his name is Bob, and he's a neighbor of mine. And I've just become his emergency contact. I had to, anyways, I don't want to get into the details, but he was, yeah, he was in for 9 months, and from what I've gathered, um, his unit, um, it was him and 16 guys. Um, they got lost, and none of their compasses were working, and Bob knows he knew how to get to the get to the chopper. He because he knows what do you call it, like landmarks. And he knew there was this landmark, like a mountain, like some mount. I don't know. I don't know what mountain it was, but like some kind of mountain range, or not a mountain but a mountain. And he's in whatever 16 clicks away or whatever it was, and he was leading them to this landmark. And the hardest part is no one trusted him, and he spent most of his time arguing with them, and because nobody trusted his instinct, it gave him enough credit that he knew where he was going. And then they're like, "You're taking us in circles, Bob. We're walking in circles. We keep passing this. We pass this. We're walking in circles." He's like, "That's because we're surrounded by the fucking gooks." Anyways, so they get to the chopper. All 16 guys get on the chopper. They make it out alive, except for Bob, because his legs gave out from under him from exhaustion. He was just mentally and physically exhausted. He was sitting down from a tree, or down and leaning against a tree, just exhausted, completely exhausted, and he thought he was going to just die of exhaustion, mostly just mental exhaustion from arguing with these guys because nobody trusted him. um the chopper takes off without him, and one guy in his unit said, "What about Bob?" That's the name of the movie. What about Bob? What about Bob? We're leaving without Bob. What about Bob? And they left him for dead at that tree. And four Viet Cong saw what happened. They saw the whole thing. They heard everything, saw the whole thing, and they came to his aid. They fed him a small ration of rice and some broth, just some rice water and a small helping of rice. And it was enough to nourish him, and he got on the radio. If he walked, it was enough to give him enough strength to walk about 4 miles to another unit. And then he got out of there. He made it home. Thanks.